Hi guys, Catalan Ben here, and today we're taking you through short corner routines and how to coach them to your players. Now, first of all, short corners have become even more important recently after the FA's decision to ban heading at the primary school age groups. So now, short corners are really going to come into play quite a lot, and it's important that your kids know how to use them effectively and quickly in games. Now, the first routine we're going to look at here is the overlap routine. All of these short corners require at least 2 players and some 3 players, and we'll show you here on the tactics board exactly how they work and how you will set up for the short corner. So let's look at step 1 for the overlap routine. So step 1 is to get 2 players next to the ball. We need 1 corner taker. Ideally, if the corner is on the left hand side of the pitch, the corner taker will be right footed, and if the corner is on the right hand side of the pitch, the corner taker will be left footed. The second player, we'll call them player B, will go alongside player A, both facing goal and stood on the touchline of the pitch. So both players are facing the same direction and facing towards the box and the cross that they're about to put in. Now, the distance here is important. We want player A and player B very close together. If player B is too far away, then by the time the ball travels to player B, an opposing player can already be very close to the ball and may even intercept the ball before it reaches them. So what we want is player A and player B alongside each other, very close together. A quick pass from player A moves to player B, and then player A starts the overlapping run. Now, we want the overlapping run to be 3 things here. The first thing, we want it to be fast. The second thing, we want it to be big and wide. And the third thing we want is for it to be loud. The overlapping player is going to have to use his voice and command the ball from their teammate. The faster and bigger that the overlap is, the more it stretches any pressing defender and gives a better angle for either a cross or a shot by player A. So remember, player A plays to B. B holds the ball until the overlap has happened, and then once player A arrives in position, the ball can be played to player A to deliver a cross or a shot. Now let's look at a couple of different variations on this overlapping move, depending on what the defender does and how it's defended. What might happen is player A will play to player B, and player B will instantly then play the pass to the overlapping runner. This then means that the overlapping player, player A, is then running away from goal, chasing after a ball, rather than receiving a pass to his feet. Player B needs to hold the ball until player A is almost in position. So it's important that kids understand that we pass, we pause, we wait for the overlap to happen, and then we play the ball back to player A. Now, this pause doesn't only let player A get into the right position, it also teases the pressing player in towards the ball, making sure that he's not trying to cut out the pass. So player B needs to understand that they need to pause with the ball for a split second, wait for the pressing player to come towards them, tease them in, and then slip the ball around them to that overlapping runner. Now, player A should be receiving the ball from a much better angle to cross or shoot from, with a little bit of space and time, and be able to get his head up to pick the next pass or the next shot. This creates a much better angle rather than the typical cross that comes in from the goal line, where kids might struggle to get the distance, the height or the angle to actually put the ball into a dangerous area. As we said at the beginning, a left-footed player should be taking corners on the right, and a right-footed player should be taking corners on the left, to make sure that when the ball comes to player A, they have the ball on their strong foot and it's going in towards goal. It's very awkward if a left-footed player receives the ball here on the left-hand side of the pitch. It can be quite difficult to get that cross or that shot in. Likewise, we also need to make sure that the player receiving the ball, player B, is a good dribbler and a good technical player with the ball that can run with the ball if needed. After taking a few of these overlapping short corners, the pressing team and the defending team might send out a player that then starts to read that pass to the overlapping runner. So player A plays to player B pauses, and player A makes his overlap. Whilst that happens, if the defender starts to try and cut out the pass and starts to make this move towards player A, then player B fakes the pass, dribbles along the goal line and gets a lot closer to goal for a little cutback or maybe even a near post shot. Now, the final piece to the overlap puzzle is player C. Now, player C might not be needed all the time, and player C might not actually get involved every single corner. But player C is there in case plan A and plan B doesn't work. So what we're looking at here is the pass that goes to player B. The overlapping runner is player A, and player C stays around the corner of the area to receive the ball in case the defending team have sent out 2 players. If they send out a player to run straight the ball and a second player to cut off the pass to player A, then player C comes in as that third man where we can play the ball a little bit more directly into player C. So with that overlapping move, we should have a possible dribble, an overlapping run and a pass to player A, and a third man available just in case we need them in player C. It will take a while of coaching this with kids to get body positions right, to get timings right, and to get runs right. But if you spend a bit of time on the training pitch running this overlap routine, you'll find that kids become very, very dangerous from corners. Especially if you get players in the right positions, players that can dribble, players that can cross and shoot. And make sure that player A and player B know their drill off by heart. They should be able to do this very, very quickly and very efficiently. As with any short corner routine or any quick play like a quick free kick, we need to do this before the defensive team gets in position or before the defensive team reads what we're about to do. So we need to make sure that when the ball goes out for the corner, two players arrive quickly for the ball, they set up fast, and they play that ball before any defending players have got time to come and press. Now with short corners, a lot of the time they won't work if a defending player is allowed too close to the ball straight before the kickoff. So make sure that the referee has been told before the game that the minimum distance that the player is required to be defending a corner. Train your kids and teach your kids to let the ref know when a player comes too close. They don't have to do it by screaming and shouting. They can just put their hand up and just say, "Ref, yards please." And the ref will then make sure that that player is the right distance back. That will then make sure they have the space and the room required to run this little short corner routine. Short corners won't work if a defending player is right on top of the ball. Now routine number 2 is the bounce. So what we're looking at here is a short corner routine where one player has quickly arrived on the ball and is ready to take it. The second player has maybe arrived a little bit late, was a bit too far away from the ball, or wasn't switched on quite quick enough to arrive on that short corner to run the overlap. The way that this one works is the second player, so player B, comes running along the goal line towards the ball. Player A plays the ball into player B. Player B bounces the ball towards the edge of the penalty area, as you can see here, outwards away from the goal line. That bounce pass then invites a cross, opens up the angle and makes it much easier to deliver the ball into a dangerous area, whether that's through a cross or a shot for a right-footed player. In this instance, on the other side of the pitch, we'd need a left-footed player to be taking that action and getting the cross into the box. The only things that really go wrong with the bounce is the weight of the pass. So if the attacking players get the weight of the pass wrong, if player A smashes the ball into player B, or player B kicks the ball a bit too hard or a bit too close to the goal line for player A, then the situation doesn't really evolve the way that you want it to. So what you have to do here is just train the kids to play the first pass into feet and the second pass into space. Don't go too firm on either of the passes. We go soft into player B and then soft back into the pass of player A, and then player A can deliver that ball exactly as they want. Now the final routine that we're going to look at here is a combination of the overlap and the bounce both put together. I like to call this a plan C, because this is what happens if the overlap hasn't quite worked and we incorporate one of the bounce moves to get player A out of danger and player B back on the ball. So we start with the typical overlap move. Player A plays to B, B holds the ball and A starts his overlapping run. If the ball is played to player A and the defending player gets too close to player A to effectively get the cross or the shot in, then player A bounces the ball back to player B. As you can see here, it works pretty seamlessly if the ball goes from A to B, B back to A, and then when that defender's being teased in towards player A, we play the ball back down the line to player B, and again it opens up that dribble a little bit like we did at the beginning. When we faked the pass out to player A, it opens up an easy dribble along the goal line, then we can look at either a cutback or a near post shot. So if you get this routine right, we should get the overlapping run and the little bounce pass all incorporated into the same move, and it helps you get out of trouble if the overlap didn't quite work. And the final part for short corners is the speed of the play. We need to make sure that in these instances where we get a short corner, kids don't overplay and take too many touches on the ball. So make sure kids understand when they should hold the ball for a little bit to tease the defender in, but when they need to release it quick and move that ball on to the next player in the sequence. The main reason that you see these short corner routines not working is when players either take too many touches, make the wrong decision, or just get their timing wrong where it's maybe a bit too early or a bit too late for that specific movement or specific pass. So at your next training session, why not put on a short corner routine and make sure your team are deadly from set pieces? Not only can you work these routines from short corners, you can actually start to play around with quick free kicks and short free kicks if your kids are not scoring a lot from dead ball situations where they've got free kicks outside the box. Sometimes these little short routines between a few players can actually be much more effective than just whacking a ball into a dangerous area and hoping that it turns out for the best. There you have it, guys, just 3 of our short corner routines. We've got lots more that we'd love to tell you guys about, so if you want to see more, please let us know in the comments down below. And if you've got any that you'd like to suggest to us, then please send them in to us. We'd love to hear of other routines and clever situations that coaches have managed to conjure up from their short corners and short free kicks. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you again very soon. Don't forget to subscribe for more great coaching content, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.